this is Rumor, and I am here at my February tarot table, although this is probably going to be posted in March because I was getting ready with my day today, just thinking of all the work that I need to accomplish, but then a knock at the door, and then a package is handed over into my hand. And then I realize exactly what it is. I live in the UK and this is available over here already, and I've gotten my grubby little paws on it. But I know that it's not due out in the US till mid-March, and I kind of don't want to be posting anything ahead of that lest it tempts someone to take a peek when they really don't want to and they would rather wait and look through their own deck themselves. This is honestly my first time looking through. I've taken it out of the packaging, it's out of the plastic. I've opened the lid and taken a peek at the book, but I honestly have not gone beyond that. So I am just going to sit. I am not going to be commenting on cardstock, guidebook. Honestly, right now, I just want to look at these cards for the first time, finally, and just give my own genuine reactions. Not looking to be super informative and educating on the tarot itself. I'm not going to be dissecting every symbol and meaning that I'm seeing in the card. This is really just a Buffy fan's response to seeing what they ended up using for what cards. I can't tell you what's going to unfold here, but I will say that it's going to have to happen pretty quickly because that work that I mentioned before, yeah, I've got a page count I've got to get through today, and so I really can't dally for too long. So hopefully I can just go through this, make it fun, and then of course, at the end of it, however, I am definitely going to want to use this deck with my Slayer spread that I created a few years ago and I use a lot, and will use it with any deck really, but to use it for the first time with a proper Buffy deck, this is going to kick ass. So without further ado, let's get started. Just for the occasion, I've got my Buffering the Vampire Slayer podcast. Mug. Yeah. They're now pretty much just buffering podcasts because they're going on to cover other shows now that they've covered Buffy. But I highly recommend Buffy fans out there, Buffering the Vampire Slayer. So great. Obsessed. As obsessed with them as the show, arguably. So I'm going to have a sip of this coffee and get rolling. Okay, so hopefully this is showing up okay. Oh. Okay, maybe I will take a little cursory flip through the guidebook, but I had read the sample pages on Amazon and was already pretty happy with what I was reading. I felt like the voice of the text sounded very, very Scooby. You can tell a Buffy fan wrote this. Yay! I can't believe this is in my hands! Oh, cute back. I can see the tarot, the four suits symbols there. Ooh. The colors are fun. I'm sure anyone who's interested in this deck has already seen this card because this one has shown up before, but Xander as the Fool, that's pretty great. Willow as the Magician, again, very appropriate. Tara is the High Priestess. Oh, and I hate that I tore a nail, so my nails are in hideous condition for doing a video. I wasn't thinking I'd be doing one today when I chopped them down, but anyway, I was just gonna say, pointing with my gross little finger here, that's Miss Kitty Fantastico. She lives. Oh my God. Drusilla. Maybe I did see this somewhere too. Drusilla is the Empress. And hold on one second. My nail is really bothering me. Okay, sorry. I had a nail thing going on. But wow. Drusilla as the Empress. I never in a million years would have guessed that. I'm not saying I don't see the connection, but I am curious what the guidebook has to say about this one. And oh gosh, I really can't afford to do this with them all. More beautiful than the stars she's named after, the Empress fills your reading with feminine energy, creative expression, and connection to the natural world. Before she was a vampire, Drusilla was a sweet young woman who embodied the generosity and purity of the Empress. When she appears, it's a call to connect with nature, to step into a nurturing role, or to surround yourself with things you love. Even after she was changed, Drew longed to grow flowers, to care for others, and yes, to watch the world burn. But it goes to show that the energy of the Empress is lasting, mostly. And in the reverse, it may feel like everything you put in the ground just withers and dies, blocking your creative abilities and disrupting your self-expression. Like Drusilla, you may even be questioning your intuition, neglecting the unique traits that make you feel powerful. This disharmony can be resolved with self-care and patience, turning your mothering nurture onto yourself. Aww. I guess that is true. I've seen Drusilla tend to her flowers and her dollies and her dead canaries, I think. And she's a good disciplinarian. We've seen that when Miss Edith spoke out of turn. And so then she would have no cake that day. And speaking of, the dolls are in there. Great. Okay, the Emperor, Buffy. Yes, this one was previewed, and that's great. She absolutely commands that kind of authority. And then Giles as the Hierophant. The Librarian, the Watcher. Yes, he is one who teaches and guides. Oh! The Lovers. It's Willow and Tara from Once More with Feeling. Oh, wait, this is kind of a mashup, I think, because it looks like the setting and the outfits of Once More with Feeling, but then there's another episode, and I'm forgetting which one, where they're at the bronze dancing, and then they start levitating into the air. That's a different episode, but I love the combination of the two. That's wonderful. Like, it's just, oh, the essence of these two. Oh, wow, that got me so excited, as you can tell. Oh my God, the Chariot, Cordelia. She has come in handy with that car. Oh, fabulous. Look at her flip phone with the antenna that you'd have to pull out. Awesome. Okay, this is probably going to take me longer than I thought. Oh, Dawn. Strength. So this looks like when she and Buffy were trapped underground, and that was that first time where Buffy, like, lets her take up a sword and actually help, fight, put herself into the danger in order to get out of it. And wow, strength is my birth card. So it is very fortunate that I have space in my heart for Dawn, because I know that many Buffy fans do not. And so this could be really upsetting if I did not like her, but I love Dawn, and I love that she's on strength. Oh, my nubby little nails can't grab the cards now. The Hermit, Oz. Excellent. Oh, it's great. Yeah. Quiet, rather introspective Oz. Beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, boy. That is the first Slayer. And is it Sanaya? But anyway, wow, is she a force? Oh, and you can see these are the shadow puppets. surrounding. Oh, that's really cool. Because that was literally on like a little turntable wheel that started spinning and then created the portal that brought Buffy back so she could see how this first Slayer was created. That's incredible. Because I mean, really with like the ups and downs, that's where you kind of learn the darker side of like the Slayer and the origins of that mythology. There are problematic things about it too. But then on the upside, they are gifted this power, tremendous strength, and are really able to come into their own that way. So that's cool. I wouldn't have thought of that. I don't know what I would have expected for that, but Justice Angel, yes, that's what his life's all about, isn't it? He's got to even the score. That's how Whistler recruited him, right? You have to maintain that balance between good and evil in the world. So even demons out there seek to maintain that, and Angel trying to find redemption. He's a really great person to do that. Oh my God. I'm so excited. My first fight card. I'm saying first because I am assuming and really hoping that there will be more. But the Hanged Man, that is a riot. Oh, I just want to look at him up right now. Is that not him? He has swagger even hanging from one foot. Yeah, okay, I could see this fitting, Spike in like the multiple ways in which the hangman can be looked at. I mean, like the sacrifice element, he does ultimately make sacrifices. Sometimes it's not for the right motivations, but gradually he, comes to evolve in his, ethics. But then this kind of timeout too. And as I'm looking, I'm actually wondering, I don't think he's even, it's not, okay, sorry. I'm looking at the card with like my camera and stand and everything in front of me too. So it's kind of blocking what I'm seeing. So maybe he's not even actually hanging from one foot. This is just him laying on a sarcophagus in his crypt. And it's just the way that we're viewing him. He looks upside down. That would make more sense because his duster's not falling to his head, but kind of makes him look like very vampiric and bat-like if you were hanging upside down. But anyway, this is him chilling in his crypt. And yeah, Spike does spend a lot of time in there. And when he's not watching Passions, I mean, he's a very perceptive individual. So I imagine that he is like actually thinking a lot in there and reflecting, and eventually has his own journey of atonement. Death. Oh, I have seen this before with the gentleman. That's great. I love that the rose from the death card is in there. And ew, here are the hearts that they're stealing from the people who cannot scream as their chests are being cut open. But oh God, that's just brilliant. I love it. Iconic episode. Temperance, Joyce. Oh, it's her mask and her art from her gallery. Oh my God. And I bet she's going to hand one of these to her friend. Who is her friend? It's like her book club friend or something who ends up dying, unfortunately, after that mask is hung on the wall. Blanking on her name, but that was a shame. It seemed like Joyce needed that kind of companion. But anyway, Joyce's temperance, I mean, that really just suits her whole demeanor. We've seen Joyce get upset. We've seen her discipline Buffy, but she stays so even-keeled basically through it all. And she has a lot to like process when she becomes aware of this whole supernatural world and her daughter's role as the Slayer and everything. And so, she doesn't hit the extremes. She doesn't get like super overly like giddy and happy and jumping up and down with excitement, but nor does she get like in an absolute like fury or even depression. Like she is just very, I don't know, even-keeled is the best way I can think of it. And that's a very nice temperament indeed. And I love that for Joyce. Side note, nothing to do with the tarot deck. For Christmas, I found a mug and I gave it to my mom as one of her stocking stuffers this past Christmas because my mom's name is Joyce. And I found this mug that otherwise looks like it has nothing to do with Buffy. It just has like a floral image on it. It just looks like kind of a mom mug. And then in this nice like script, it says, "You're the Joyce to my Buffy." I couldn't not. When your mom's name is Joyce, embrace it. Yes, 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 yes. Dark Willow was the devil. That magic just felt so good, so tempting. It's just so right there at her disposal. It makes it so easy to get what she wants. So even knowing the risks of it. Yeah. Oof. The Tower. Oh, yes, this is perfect. Of course. It had to be that crazy ass tower that Glory's minions made. And look. Oh, I'm not going to point with my ugly finger. Oh my God. 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 It's almost like when they staged this moment, did they know the tarot and this card specifically? Like, complete with the person falling off, and in this case, Buffy going willingly. And as we know, this tower was not stable, and it does eventually come crumbling down. Oh, Kendra, hell yeah! Oh, I love the star. Oh, taken too soon, Kendra. But there's that fresh hope, another slayer in the world. Oh. Faith. Oh, Faith, forgive me, my girl, that I forgot to choose a deck for you in my Scooby decks. I kind of hate myself for it. Someone did ask me in the comments who I would have picked for Faith, and I will say that again with the same disclaimer as I had for my Scooby decks and Big Bad decks. My deck collection is just limited, so I can't pretend that I picked the end-all be-all decks for the characters, but I did the best I could with what I had. So for Faith, had I remembered, I would have chosen the Reclaim Oracle just for the sheer array of emotions in there. This whole spectrum that we see Faith really travel through in her arc, not just on Buffy, but also Angel. And wow, especially in Angel, we see her get to some dark places. And yeah, and so I just think for the spectrum that the Reclaim Oracle captures there, highs and lows, I'm giving that one over to Faith retroactively. But anyway, as the moon, Faith definitely was one that just went with her gut. You know, if you had Kendra, there's kind of like that progression of like Kendra, who was so by the book at first until Buffy, you know, helped her learn how to go a little bit more by instinct. And then Kendra in turn taught Buffy how to also be a little bit more like prepared and informed in what it is that they do as well. And then there's Faith at that other end where she was just like pure instinct. And so it's like, she had a lot of fears to face. She had a lot of dark territory to navigate and everything. And she didn't always make the best choices. But she embraced really being a slayer, and that like urge and hunger and satisfaction and horniness that it brought to her. And, you know, and she kind of encouraged Buffy to embrace that a bit more too. And anyway, I just love it. It just feels like very primal for the moon. Oh. I'm sorry, I kind of needed a moment there. I have chills. I have literal chills. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even want to like ruin this card by babbling all over it. It's just, you guys. It's perfect. It's the amulet that made Spike look like Elizabeth Taylor. Oh, Okay, I will say something about it. Obviously, it's perfect because it channeled the sun, and that's what killed all these uber vamps. Oh, Anya has judgment. She does seem to be like fairly neutral. Like there aren't a lot of like biases that she carries that like influence her one way or another. And in fact, I think she'd call someone else out on that if they were allowing like too much emotion to affect judgment and everything. And so, yeah, if anyone's going to call a spade, it's Anya. And so I think she's great for judgment. Well, oh my God. And how am I not even thinking of the fact that she was a vengeance demon? So, I mean, she was literally enacting a sense of justice, a very violent, vengeful sense of it, but a sense of it nonetheless. And so that was very much part of her character as well. And then the world. Oh my God, it's the class protector award. All right, I'm getting obnoxious. I'm gonna put these down. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee and just try to like chill out for a second here, even though caffeine's probably not gonna help much with that, but maybe the warmth will subdue me a little bit. I don't want my voice to be hitting any pitches that like cracks your phone or computer screen. If you're even still watching by this point, but wow. You can see like the different monsters in the four corners, but yeah, oh God, that's just, oh, freaking love it. Oh, so let me see if these are going to be in order. One sec. Okay. Well, I mean, I could see if they were in order, it would be a reverse order, but I was just confirming that because, you know, decks sometimes come out of order. So counting back, at least with the courts, Xander as the King of Stakes, which in this deck is the Wands suit. And this is 7th season Xander post-confrontation with Caleb. Xander, party in his eye socket, Xander. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, he takes an active role. Buffy tried to put him out to pasture for that season, but he had his sense of duty and stepped back in. Certainly wouldn't have put him as a king at his earlier ages because there's so much growth that he needed, but I think he deserves it by that point. The Queen of Stakes. Oh, is this Kennedy? Yeah? Just be sure, but... Yeah, it's Kennedy. That's cool. She is a Spitfire. That works for me. The Knight of Stakes. Oh my God. Just for a second, I thought it was Oz, but then I saw the camera. This is Andrew, isn't it? Oh my God, the storyteller. Well, all right. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see that too. Harmony, the Page of Stakes. There are unicorns in there. And the threat that she had thrown through Buffy's window when she got her own little minions. Oh my God. I love it. I'm so happy seeing like these secondary characters come into it. Okay, so now we will starting in proper order from ace to 10, I guess. So ace of stakes, yes, that's great. Obviously a perfect choice for the wand. Oh God, look at her in her little like 90s mini skirt and boots. I know that look. So the 2 of stakes. Wow, love it. It's like she's got her weapons chest and she's choosing what weapons she's going to need. She's planning for the fight before she actually goes out to dust. Three of Stakes. Whoa, this is Doppelgangland Willow. Wow. You know, I always see Three of Wands as that sense of like expansion. And I mean, that definitely was a turning point. I think, I don't know if this is like where this is coming from, and I'll check the guidebook to see what it says, but I see it as like a turning point for Willow in kind of embracing more of that like primal, passionate side, and also that, you know, aspect of her that's kind of gay, right? That's when that all kind of first comes about. So I don't know if this is like in terms of Willow's horizons broadening there. I'm not, again, keen to do this for all of them, but Three of Stakes presents an opportunity to reflect on how things are going as you pursue your objectives. And, well, let's just say you haven't gotten further than ladies' nightclub before your van broke down. But before you despair, like all minor arcana cards, this is just a temporary delay. You'll be back on the road before you know it. And then reverse, before a road trip, it's essential to make sure that your van is in good working order. Consider this a reminder to pause your plans, double check your supplies, and save up a little extra cash for repairs along the way. Future you will think past you when the road gets rough and you find yourself still cruising along. Okay, so they're going with this road trip metaphor, but I don't, you know, I'm not relating that directly to this. So I'm sticking with how I am initially perceiving that. It didn't make any mention of doppelganger Willow at all, but that's all right. Maybe that's how the minors are. Maybe the majors got more so into the actual characters, but it's okay. I know the show, I'm going to be able to come up with interpretations here. I know it. Four of Stakes. Oh, wow. It looks like it's on, oh no, that's this high school in the background. So, yeah, I guess the welcome to Sunnydale is like usually see in the Four of Wands, that like sort of return home and celebration. And so Sunnydale is home in this world. Oh my gosh, Five of Stakes is Giles when he's turned into that demon. Yeah, he causes a lot of commotion then. Oh, Six of Stakes. This is Buffy's little training room in the back of the magic box. And so this is her dummy that she can try to practice slaying. And so I guess where the Six of Stakes go, that shows like her achievements. She's hitting the bullseye there and hitting her target there. And so... all right. Seven of Stakes. Oh my gosh. It's Buffy being confronted by the first evil taking her form. When Buffy so appropriately says to get out of her face. And it's like literally. Yeah, I mean, that's a moment where like Buffy's been wounded and it looks like that could be it for her, but she does stand her ground there. And even with like how you traditionally can see the seven with the person standing at the top of the hill, fending off those below, you know, all the Uber vamps were like kind of down the cliff from here. Eight of Stakes. Oh, cool. I mean, the potentials, am I the only one that found this potential super annoying? I mean, they could like individually be endearing, but like as a group, they just grated on my goddamn nerves. But anyways, to see the stakes flying and everything, that's great. Eight of Wands energy. Awesome. Especially this is, I'm assuming, when they have their, you know, they're imbued with their Slayer power when Willow's spell works. Using the Scythes. Ah! Sorry. I need another moment. No. Nah. Okay, so on my Buffy journey, obviously I'm giving myself away as a huge Spike fan, and so I'm hoping that that is not turning off a lot of people out there who, I don't know if there's anyone out there who necessarily doesn't like Spike. I know that there are people who are adamantly against Spuffy shippers. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just saying I love Spike. I know what his faults are. I am well aware of the horrible, awful things Spike has done. That is a whole other conversation to unpack. And Buffering the Vampire Slayer, again, this podcast, they do a beautiful job unpacking anything and everything that's like problematic about a character, a plot line. It's just very complex territory to wade in, but I am basically distilling it down to, having considered all of that, I am still reduced to a squealing little girl when I see Spike, and especially in a moment like this. I don't know if I feel the same way now, but season 6 actually was my favorite season. My first time viewing Buffy. Loving Spike, loving his whole character arc going up to this point. That was just, I think I cried, like literally cried when I first saw this happen. And it just continues to be very powerful for me, so. 10 of Stakes. Okay, I'm trying to see, is this Faith? Is this the vampire that killed Faith's original watcher? I really should have worn my glasses. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading this off camera. I'm just trying to see. Buffy may have been chosen to stand alone against the vampires, demons, and forces of darkness, but the prophecy never said she had to like it. The 10 of Stakes, the X of Stakes. God, Roman numerals. The 10 of Stakes finds you feeling like you're doing the most and asks you to pause, reflect on how much you've taken on, and remind yourself that it's temporary. Everything you're doing is aligned with your greater goals, and you're so close to reaching them. So, I mean, it's not saying what's in the card. And I feel like with this outfit, this is probably someone specific. And so my guess is that it's Faith killing the vampire that had killed her watcher. But honestly, I'm not sure. Oh my God. Oh my God. The King of Cups is a very special card to me. And so to see Giles as the King of Chalices in his little inaugural day of the Magic Box costume is just the ultimate. The ultimate. I love this so much, and I cannot watch this moment without getting like such a pang in my heart. When Buffy just is like rolling her eyes at him and making him feel stupid, it makes me feel so bad for him. Like, let him have his day. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Okay, so this is my signifier card, Queen of Cups. Again, Chalices as the cups appropriately in the Buffyverse. Halfrick. I didn't see Halfrick coming for that. But I kind of see it. Because, I mean, she listens to all of these spurned lovers, right? And I think that, like, it was Anya that was still being old school and just listening to women. Like, Halfrick was there for everyone. And she even heard Dawn's pain, and that wasn't even about a romantic relationship. It was just loneliness. And she just heard her crying out across Sunnydale and, causes tons of trouble. Also, can be a creator of violence. So I guess I wouldn't have seen her as this, but it makes sense. She listens, and there is something about her that seems like she actually like cares too, that she wants to be there for everyone. It's just so funny. Oh my God. Oh, I just love it. Ah! And I know, I mean, if you're watching this, I'm assuming you're a Buffy fan and you know the whole inside joke that it was the same actress playing Halfrick as played, oh God, was it Cecily? Yeah, it's Cecily, right? Oh, I hate myself if I'm getting that wrong, but that William before Spike is turned by Drusilla, that the woman he's in love with and who he writes his poem about and describes as effulgent. So it's the same actress came back to play Halfrek, and they made a little joke of it where there's like a little recognition between Spike and her. And there's a really funny comic. It's not the Boom Comics. I think it was still Dark Horse, or what was the other one? Gosh darn it, I'm blanking. But anyways, it's not canon. It's not, there are like the season 8 through 12 of Buffy comics that are considered canonical. It's not a canon comic, but it's really funny. It like shows more interaction between Spike and Halfrek, and like basically running with the idea that yes, she was a Vengeance Demon back then, and at the party that William left, crying because they were making fun of him. In the story, Halfrek, as he's leaving, he makes a wish about like wanting everyone there to be dead. I don't remember the exact wording of it, but she grants it. Like they made it that where she was already a Vengeance Demon at that time. And she grants his wish, and so everyone in that party just burns. It's hilarious. Anyways, Knight of Chalices. I love it. This is making me squeal even more than the Dread Pirate Roberts in the movie Tarot, which is a deck that I am rehoming. But I mean, honestly, like one of the only reasons I wanted to even hold on to it, and maybe I will just keep that card and the few others that I like. But I just loved Wesley as the Dread Pirate Roberts as the Knight of Cups, and like William, yes, he absolutely is. Oh, God. Clem! Oh, that is perfect. That is perfect. Oh, my gosh. When I was looking for the image to show in my Scooby Decks video, where I mentioned Dawn watching like Saturday morning cartoons, and as I found the picture, I see, of course, Xander and Clem are right there with her watching it. But like, oh, what an innocent soul that he has. And even though he eats kittens, I'm kind of turning a blind eye to that. And oh God, he's holding one. But, and he's cheating at poker. He's cheating at kitten poker. But, what a doll. He's great as a page of chalices. Okay, and now we get the ace. Oh, yeah, I mean, very traditional imagery, but of course it fits with this Buffyverse too, because the holy water is one of Buffy's weapons against the vampires. Taking a quick sip of coffee. Now I'm drinking the coffee for energy because I am pumped and I want to feed that. Okay, 2 of Chalices. Oh, hell yes. Buffy and frickin' Faith. That's awesome. I mean, they are 2 sides of the same coin, I feel. This is like that moment when they're first like bonding over slayage, and Buffy is finally acknowledging that like, yeah, slaying makes her hungry and horny. And then they go dance it out at the Bronze. I think this was the moment like they both had a simultaneous dusting. And, that couldn't be a metaphor for anything at all, right? No, get your minds out of the gutter. He. But anyways, that's awesome. I love it. 3 of Chalices. Of course, these original Scoobies, Buffy, Xander, and Willow as the 3 of Chalices. And the 4 of Chalices. Is that Snyder? Wait. Is that Snyder? Right? I mean, that pose, him crossing his arms, that's very fitting. I don't know. Again, the guidebook's not like describing the actual image. It does seem to be making a good once more with feeling reference though. So again, the guidebook is fun. I feel like it's still totally written by someone who gets it. I wonder if things were written without like even knowing what the art of the cards would be yet, at least for the minors. I'm not sure. Maybe there was a moment. I just have this like suspicion that this was very much going to be a pip deck originally, and they delayed putting it out to make it fully illustrated, because I remember seeing the pre-order up for like September or October of 2022. And then the date got pushed. And I just honestly feel like they were listening to people complaining about the unillustrated minors and did that. So then it almost makes me think like, well, was there a guidebook written then? And then they went back in and illustrated minors and didn't modify that? I have no idea. There's someone out there who will know. I'm just talking out of my bum. But if this looks like Principal Snyder to me, and so I'm going to have to give more thought to why he's 4 of Chalices, but, you know, the demeanor there seems very fitting. I mean, I guess he could have been more of an ally to them than he ever was, and he sat that out, but I don't know. I'll think about that one a bit more. 5 of Chalices. Oh, it's Buffy when she's waiting tables in LA. Spilled drinks there. Oh gosh, she would have been grieving for Angel at that time, and the life she left behind. So that's pretty perfect. No fucking way. Sorry. I don't think I've ever thrown enough bomb out on this channel. I am so sorry, but and candy. Oh my God. And for the 6 of Cups, like, come on, that is so perfect. They are reliving their teenage years. And just like the simplicity and fun of that. Oh my God, I want to cry. I love this so much. That's worth all the F-bombs in the world. 7 of Chalices. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be. Is it Xander maybe? Because look who's in the cups. This is Army Xander. I don't know. These just look like demons. I don't know if it's anyone specific, but this is Buffy. So it's from that Halloween. There's Buffy. Oh my God, it's Ethan Rain. Ugh. I'm a little slow. Sorry. At first I thought it was like Xander because he like had crushes on, I saw Buffy and Cordelia and actually, you know, Willow too. And I thought he was like trying to make his choice, but I don't know. Could that be Ethan Rain instead? Because this is obviously Halloween where Buffy is in that like period costume. Cordelia is in her cat suit. Willow is the ghost. There is the Janice statue for wreaking this chaos. And so, yeah, that could be him. Oh my God, that's brilliant. I love it. I love that that Halloween episode's getting captured here. The 8 of Chalices. Oh my God. Yeah. Like this is when the Scoobies, they're trying to get to safety, get Dawn in hiding in that RV, trying to get to a safer place. So Glory and these knights. I just forget what they're called. There's a certain like order of something that they're called, right? But I'm blanking on that. But anyways, yeah, just trying to escape the danger to somewhere safer. So I see that as that like 8 of Cups like progression, that moving onward, although it's not as peaceful as you usually see that depicted. Oh, cool. Oh my God. Sweet for 9 of Chalices. I mean, that's my God. Once more with feeling. Feeling as in emotions. Like the characters had no choice but to emote all over the place, and 2 catchy melodies through the course of that episode because of this guy's influence when he came to town, when he was summoned rather. yeah, when you're reaching that like apex of emotion and like how it can build and to the point where people were spontaneously combusting. So that certainly shows us getting to this culmination of the chalices here. And the 10 of chalices, oh my goddess. Yeah, that is such the moment when this magic and this pure magic is just flowing through Willow and just kind of like cleanses out that dark Willow energy that she feared so much and shows the good in her. And oh yeah, I mean, that's such a climactic moment. It's just great. Or as Willow would say, it was pretty nifty. King of Scythes, which are our swords here. Brilliant. I mean, the mayor, he was someone, you could talk to and he would give some objective advice. I do see him in that King of Swords energy before he turns into a snake. Queen of Scythes, Jenny Calendar, the techno-pagan at her computer, poo-pooing Giles being so stuffy and old school that he would stick with his stuffy books and not get with the computer age. And oh my God, there's her floppy disk. And oh, she's wearing the outfit. When we last see her. Oh. Yes. Knight of Scythes. Oh, glory. And she does look glorious. Oh, and she's holding that orb. Ooh. Page of Scythes. Wait, I need a second here. Oh my God. I didn't see it. And I mean, I had seen this cheerleader. That should have been my clue. But when I saw that trophy, it's Amy. Okay. So yes, that makes sense. I see now because I was like, that's not Dawn, right? At first, before I really saw it, well, I thought maybe it was like Dawn stealing something from the magic box. But yeah, that's Amy. That's her mom trapped in that trophy, and you can see her magic emanating from her hand. So that's interesting. Okay. Ace of Scythes. Cool. Slay aside. Can someone answer for me, please? Doesn't Giles say something to the order of like, there are 3 different functions? Like, it's such a brilliant design because it's made to kill 3 ways. Okay. So I see the axe part of it. I see the stake part of it. What's the 3rd way? If you can answer that for me, love you forever. Thank you. 2 of Scythes. For a second, I thought it was Angel, and I was like, what the hell is he wearing? It's Ben. Ben is Glory? But yes, he's wearing the robe that Glory dons. And oh, this is great because he was, well, first of all, I mean, the duality of the 2, he was literally split between his life and then Glory living within him and coming out. So he had that duality, but then it really comes to a head at this moment where he's having to make that choice. Like, is he helping Glory and ergo himself? Or is he going to help save Dawn's life? Quite the decision. Should have been an easier one to make, but oh, Jesus. Oh, I didn't. All right, I just needed a moment for that one. I never thought I would see. I didn't know what to think would be in the deck. I didn't think this would make an appearance. I have to say though, it's, yeah. Oh God. I mean, if anything's going to get the pain that I get from Three of Swords, I know this is a card that can be divided for how it's like interpreted and everything. And I always take it as like, you know, if you have that like heartache, but being the swords, my thoughts and emotions are very like intricately entwined with each other, and they feed each other very much. So I have more room for the RWS Three of Swords maybe than others do, because I just know how much my emotions, much I can get in my head with that. And sometimes my thoughts can cause the emotion. And so anyways, when you have this sort of piercing pain from something, the growth in your mindset that comes about from that can be extraordinary. And it almost, I mean, it's something beyond actually what a minor card can convey, you know, that's almost like major arcana power to it, I guess is what I'm trying to get across. But anyways, so I do typically honor that interpretation of the Three of Swords. And so I've been wanting to rewatch Buffy in general for a while, and I just didn't know if I was ready to see that episode yet. So I think I am. Oh, wow, this is very traditional looking, you know, but like I think this is Buffy in Spike's mausoleum. Oh, it's the Buffy bot! Oh my God. It's like just as I was noticing the skirt, I finally see she's plugged in. Again, I'm sorry. I've got my whole like camera setup thing in front of me, so my view is actually obscured. The Buffy bot is effing recharging for the Four of Swords. I love this. Thank you for the laugh to follow that. Oh, God. This deck is killing me. It is slaying me. Oh, it is better. It is better than I ever dreamed. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And I know I'm not through it all yet, but I don't think any card could ruin it for me at this point. So the Five of Scythes. Oof, oof. I'm assuming, yeah, this is the moment Buffy and Joyce are fighting, and Joyce is like, if you walk through that door, don't come back. And so Buffy leaves. Oof. Six of Scythes. Oh my gosh. Excellent. We get to see Oz Wolf out. Interesting for this card, you know, when you're thinking of, or at least I always think of it as like, you know, going from like a very harried mindset, or maybe even something just like unhealthy, toxic, whatever the case might be, and just needing to like, you know, sail into those smoother, clearer waters and just, you know, kind of escape a situation that's not serving you into something better, and from that mental standpoint. So with Oz then as the werewolf, he does leave, right? Like he does realize he is, heartbreaking as that is, when he leaves Willow behind. But you know, it's like he does that so he can come to terms with this. This is a part of him that he cannot deny anymore. It's like that shadow side, and he has to learn how to integrate it, and he needs to learn how to find his peace, and so he can manage it and hopefully then not cause harm to anyone. And so I can kind of see that being why he's the six here, and just making that choice to find that calmer state of mind to keep the wolf at bay. Seven of Scythes. Oh God, is this Ethan again? This has got to be Ethan, right? In his little like disco shirt there. Oh, I think these are the crates of the band candy, I bet. So yeah, oh my God, if you've got like a thief, trickster, oh my, Mr. Trick could have been in here. I wonder if he's going to be in the deck at all. I love him. He would have, I don't know, I think he would have been good for the 7 too. Maybe they had another idea for him. Oh God. Mommy. Professor Walsh. Maggie, was it? 8 of Scythes. Yeah. Wow. 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 I can see that. Well, she's great for swords / scythes as the psychology professor. But man, she gets like so fixed in her mindset of like what her mission there is, the initiative, that it just blinds her to like what the right thing to do is and how she could actually be of help to humanity versus like adding to the dangers to everyone. And not that that's like the only interpretation that could be taken away here, but that's what I'm seeing. And you can see the lab that's there. So this is the below ground initiative lab. Oh my God. Oh, that's perfect. Oh my God. What is the name? I forget the name of the episode. I guess, do I even need to know the name of the episode? It's not like I've been naming them all by name thus far. Oh gosh, it's the one though where like the dreams come true, like the nightmares come true, and Buffy, her nightmare is to become a vampire. And oh my God, for 9 of Swords. Oh, that's great. That's perfect. Not stabbed in the back, but stabbed in the front while his eyes were closed. Oh, that's freaking beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. And when you just think of like the accumulation of thought, like leading to this point where she's got to make this decision and she is just at her end, and that just like destroys her. I mean, she keeps going, but she leaves town and is living under another name. And I mean, she just has such struggle coping with that. So this is like a rock bottom for Buffy for sure. As I often see 10 of Swords. And then if you do take that like spin of if it is, that's, I don't often interpret it that way as like a betrayal, like getting stabbed in the back. But I mean, I guess if you did, there is that. But I mean, she was doing this to save the world. But anyway, God, that's beautiful. Okay, King of Pentacles. It's Robin. Ew, and he's in his creepy like garage where he has all those crosses. Like not one of Robin's finer moments, and not one of Spike's either, actually. I really hated to see those guys fight, although obviously understanding the backstory of it. I think what I don't feel good about ultimately with this episode is I don't know, kind of Spike and Buffy's response by the end, because it's like, yeah, Robin did kind of need to move past this, but my gosh, you know, he's seeking vengeance on the vampire that killed his mother. I don't know. How about everyone in the scenario could have done better, maybe. But anyways, Robin Wood, I love him as King of Pentacles because honestly, he is an excellent principal. As someone who used to teach high school, I would have loved to have worked with an administrator like that. Like he was just so like calm and cool in the way that he interacted with the students and dealt with their problems. And he was a very grounded energy, and he did have like a resourcefulness to him. And then he's got that old bag of his mom's slaying tools that he can pass on to Buffy. Like those physical resources just kind of come to mind. But yeah, I just, the essence, I get it. And I love that like Pentacles still works for this deck with, you know, all the witchiness. And doesn't the seal in the basement at the new Sunnydale High School have a pentacle on it? Oh, speaking of, Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so happy his mom is represented. Oh, and she's wearing the duster. I mean, that's the one thing. Like, I go gaga over Spike and his duster, but it is like, ugh, he took that off her body. Oh. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, she was the mother figure and she was doing her best to balance that job of being the slayer and to raise her little boy. And so for her to be taken out, I mean, just beyond heartbreaking. Terrible anyway, but just the fact that, like, I mean, she's a slayer. She knows that that's her job. They have a short sell-by date, right? But the fact that she was actually leaving a son behind and anyways, I like that. I like those choices. It's our golden retriever, or as Buffering calls him, the butterscotch hunk, Riley Finn in his initiative gear. Oh gosh, look at, there's the like cells where they're held. Yep, what's he from? Iowa? The grounded Midwestern boy goes home for Thanksgiving. Very by the book too, being in the military, following the rules until he breaks them, but you know. Oh my gosh. I can't think of her name, but it's the potential. Oh my God. This is when she finds out that she is a potential slayer and Dawn throws the stick to her because it's her fight. Dawn realizes it's not her who is going to be a slayer. And oh, I'm sad I can't think of her name, but she's great. Oh, and if you've ever seen Freaks and Geeks, she's in that too. That was a great show. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. You know, when I was mentioning it before, I was wondering if that would come up as the ace, that seal that's in the Sunnydale High School basement. Because I'm pretty sure it has a pentacle on it, right? But whatever. They're going with the whole thing with being held by a hand. Buffy at the Double Meat Palace for 2 of Pentacles. All right, so she's juggling her responsibilities there. Also having to balance this job with being the slayer. But very practical of her, though. She has bills to pay. 3 of Pentacles. Oh, God. It's the trio. But I guess it really does work for this, though, doesn't it? Because you've got kind of like, you know, the leader and his little, like, minions, also sort of apprentices, but they all also have their own abilities that they bring. Because, I mean, Warren, I mean, I think his main thing was just, like, being so brilliant with, like, computers and technology, like creating the Buffy bot and everything and the little gizmos that they would work with. And then Jonathan could do magic. He had his magic bone. And Andrew, I guess his thing was like summoning demons, and he did know like different languages and could translate ancient script and stuff like that. And so working together, this collaboration unfortunately did have some success. Ugh. Ah, the magic box is the 4 of Pentacles. Oh, that's cute. I mean, that's like, you know, all the resources are contained in there. And it makes me think of Anya again, where like, you know, she liked her money. She liked to hold on to that. But yeah, no, I see this as the magic box, just the 4 walls that are containing all the resources that they need. 5. Oh, these are Glory's minions. 2 of them anyway. Oh. They are so humble in the way that they worship her and serve her. Six of Pentacles. Oh, is this Hellfrock again? Or is it Anya? It could be Anya as a vengeance demon too. Oh, that would be interesting if it's Anya, because she was Justice, right? No, Angel was Justice. Wait, what was Anya? How have I already forgotten this? Oh my God. I discussed Anya before as if she was Justice. She was Judgment. Ugh. So, okay. I was just wondering if maybe this was like her in the vengeance demon form, like doling out what she considers to be justice to those who need it, you know, and taking from those who have taken from others. I'm guessing that that's where this card is going with, but duh. I was just so excited about this that, yeah, I talked about her as if she was justice. But as judgment, I mean, it works for me as well. I mean, first of all, just literal judgment. I mean, I think Anya's judgy, but like also, I guess as the demon, maybe some of the, I don't know if all of the havoc that she wreaked, if it necessarily like always killed people, if there ever would be a chance for someone to be able to atone, like if she just made them pay enough of a price that they, you know, mend the error of their ways. But then at the magic box too, where they're depicting her, I mean, she's clearly in her human form. I think that she is a person who kind of pushes, I mean, she definitely brought out the best in Xander. You know, if he's looking back on kind of like his past missteps and everything, like her expectations of what she needed, it did kind of like push him to get a more, you know, just get steady work, steady income, and really just get his feet on the ground. Like she knew that he was too good to be just living in his parents' basement and just kind of not having direction, and she was a big part of that. So I see like Xander definitely being able to rise into a higher sense of self by virtue of her influence there. And clearly there's a lot of apologizing and atonement that needs to happen after Xander leaves her at the altar. And then she's making her choice at the magic box when she screws around with Spike, and she doesn't seem to be super happy with that decision, but it wasn't anything for Xander to be upset about by any means. But she herself might have had guilt about that. So it's not like she didn't make decisions that she also did later regret and like maybe try to make up for. So, okay, that's my like retroactive babble on that, because I'm really annoyed that I got that so long before. Seven of Pentacles. All right, so staying with the vengeance demon theme here. Interesting. So I don't know if this is like a reference to like, I mean, obviously there are people who having vengeance enacted upon them. If that's kind of a reaping what you sow kind of metaphor going on there. And he, in any case, just seems kind of patient, like biding his time. For the results of his vengeance demon's actions. I don't know, but I don't know. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Like these are the seeds that people have sown through their misdeeds, and then it's just a matter of time before someone's going to make that wish that gets a vengeance demon on their ass. Okay, here's Buffy back in her training room, that like scarecrow. Eight of Pentacles. So, yep, she's practicing over and over and over and over and over again to get it right. Nine of Pentacles. Oh my God. Now this is definitely Anya in her roller skating outfit for Halloween. What was it? Boogie Nights. Was it? I think that was the movie that had come out around then, which I'm assuming that's what she was dressing for. But yeah, I definitely see her here like enjoying the fruits of her efforts. This was the episode where she's actually dancing with the money in the cash register. So like she definitely delights in these material pleasures. She's very proud of the income she has earned and the responsibility that she has at the magic box. And then this is her just having fun roller skating around in it and enjoying it. Oh, and we reach our last card. 10 of Pentacles. Dracula. And so this is perhaps him leaving a legacy for himself. I mean, if he bites someone, turns them, just assuming maybe that's what that is there, and you get these like different generations of vampires. So he's one of the older ones, and his legacy is the likes of Spike, an angel. But cool. Well, there was no Mr. Trick in here. I kind of wish that Mr. Trick could have been the 7 of Scythes, but that's okay. This is awesome. I love it so much, and I'm going to go ahead and shuffle it already. I have definitely talked about this longer than I was expecting to. Oh, this cardstock's not bad. This feels nice. I'm not speaking to what it is. I don't know GSMs and all that, but it's got like this nice matte texture, and it's got a nice bend to it. It feels flexible. It doesn't feel papery, but I think that I am getting a bend in it as I'm shuffling it, like it's gonna bow, or it's gonna have a bow in it a bit. It's really nice and shuffled, because you know what I want to do is my Slayer spread. Ooh. As I'm doing this, I'm wondering, like, I'm definitely going to edge this, and I'm wondering, like, maybe I'll go with that red. I don't know. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is definitely curving. What I usually do then is, like, after a reading, I'll shuffle it like this to try to counteract a little bit. My stomach just roared, so I don't know if that was caught on camera, but I'm hungry. Actually, before there we go. I just wanted to zoom out. You can see my whole Slayer spread, which I have shared in a previous video. I will link it below. Shared some of my Buffy merch that came in, or specifically buffering merch, because again, I'm pretty much as obsessed with the podcast as I am the show. And I had gotten a load in while I was visiting my parents last year, and I took it as an opportunity to also share this spread. So I'm not asking a specific question. I'm just going to do something general. I'm going to let the cards let me know what it's about. All right, so it starts with the heart of the matter. This is the vampire's heart. So this is what the whole situation is about. If you visualize a stake that's aimed at this heart, Buffy's hand is up here holding it. So then that is the source of my strength. If I am holding this stake to the vampire's heart, how about I do it like this? To make Buffy's little gesture from Hush. Sorry, not trying to be dirty. But that's that's the source of my strength. It's coming from right here. Where to apply my strength. So this is getting that direction going. Okay, here, focus it this way. We're trying to get to this heart. So then my first step in the right direction after that. And then my next move. And then what I ultimately need to hit my target. So this heart just gets staked by that one right there. And then the vampire combusts into dust which is this is the dust cloud, and this is what must be released in the process. I also will often do, if I have an oracle deck paired with whatever tarot I'm using for this, I have optional cards that are the headstones. And so I will lay like 2 to 3 down here just in a row, just for sake of illustration. And then you could do it with the tarot deck too. I just like to do it with Oracle because it gives me another voice. But anyway, so these are the headstones. So thinking of like the cemetery where Buffy patrols, the vampires below ground. These are like hidden, unseen factors beneath the ground that I also need to be taking account of as I'm looking at this. Like these are things that also have a bearing on the situation. And Buffy might be distracted with this vamp and not be seeing that. But I'm not going to be doing that for this reading, though, just in the interest of time. And also, I do like to do it. I could just do it with these cards, but I do like to do it with Oracle. And so I'm going to leave it at that. Because it's just, it's just something to bring in another voice. But just to see here what this might be all about. Let me take another sip of my coffee before I get started. So starting with card number 1 down here, the heart of the matter. Oh God. King of Scythes. So I do obviously regard courts as possibly being other people, but I also internalize them a lot too. And I can definitely see where, like, for me, this is an energy that I'm needing right now because I have a lot of things going on and I have been having a harder time, like, just finding and keeping my focus and kind of like staying level-headed too, because I can anticipate things kind of ramping up soon and I'm going to get stressed out and I just kind of need to stay a little like even keeled there, but like to see the mirror. Gotta maintain that little sunny disposition and just, follow some good advice, I guess. So anyways, if that's the heart of the matter, oh, the source of my strength. Wow. That's interesting. The 10 of Scythes is the source of my strength. But, well, I don't know. I guess I'm feeling like I have been in 10 of Swords mindsets. I have recently been in one, and I think that's what I'm fearing getting back into. But like having had experienced that before, I kind of know some of the tools that I need to not like reach this point or how to like get myself out of it. So I don't know. I'm kind of seeing this as like just having been there, done that before, and kind of knowing the signs and what to avoid and things that I can like proactively do. So I don't know. Where do I apply this strength? The magic box. So speaking of, like I said, the tools that I have at my disposal to kind of like quell any anxieties or just mental overload that I can have. I think this might relate to that. And I've been getting 4 of Pentacles coming up for me a lot lately because I think that like having come from just a sense of depletion, I haven't seen it as like being greedy as this card can sometimes connote. I just think that like it was more encouraging me to hold on to my resources a bit, like not be doling more out than I am like receiving myself, which I guess is tapping into a very 6 of Pentacles energy. But I mean, just to kind of like build my reserves again. And in doing so, then I come up with like those tools and skills that I need to kind of curb myself from that kind of overwhelm and stay more in a command of it, like a King of Swords. So the Empress is my first step in the right direction. And Drusilla, I just love seeing her in this like little like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a nightgown, but I think I need to embody this energy very much. You know, I've been balancing my responsibilities that I have to others with like the work responsibilities, also just with the like play and like creation, like my own passions and interests and things that I am working to like birth into being. And I think that also, you know, as an empress, I mean, she's in command. She's very much like embodying herself and this role. And I think that sometimes I do need to be a bit more assertive, I guess, in that respect, or and just like I don't know. I feel like when I get in my like weaker, more vulnerable moments, I can be more like the child and just kind of like whiny and wanting to be taken care of. And like, you know, I feel like she's just a call to just step up and be like, yeah, you've got these responsibilities, as a lot of like empresses or mothers, as are often depicted on there, as they do. And so like step up, be a grown ass woman and, you know, embody all of this like capability that you have and this creativity. And I think like in helping to nourish those things that I'm passionate about, it helps me feel like I keep a sense of balance and I'm not getting like too overloaded. Because especially like, you know, I'm working on an editing project right now. I can get so in my head with that kind of thing. And so being able to step out of that and to be more, maybe even physical too, like not have everything just being sitting at the computer and being with words, even though I'm a writer as well. And part of what I'm trying to create is, you know, a manuscript that I'm working on. But, you know, I think it's also just like an invitation too, to be like, you know, the sensual pleasures that the Empress enjoys and to be like more bodily, attuned, if that makes any sense. Like do things like getting out in nature, getting myself out for walks and appealing to all these other senses and having like tactile experiences and things that are just a bit more active and physical than, again, just staring down my computer screen and sitting on my ass. Although she looks pretty comfortable reclining there. So I don't know. There's like a lot of possibility in the Empress. And I'm kind of feeling all of it at this point. But I just feel like, you know, if I can just have that sense of like, you know, I got this. I'm responsible. I can do it. And I'm going to have a balance of things to just keep these days not so like head down and focused and overwhelming, but like to keep things enriching and nurturing. The next step in the right direction. Okay, well, I don't think it's telling me to succumb to my worst nightmares. I will read with reversals. I did not shuffle to get reversals, but I'm reading this in reversal. Like, this is what I'm trying to avoid, right? I don't want to get to that. So I need to not let like my anxieties get the best of me, and where I do just stay so stuck in my head, you know? So like getting out of that mental space, embodying that Empress energy is a big bit of it. And so then what I ultimately need to hit my target, oh gosh. Oh, I didn't even see for Amy before. I didn't even see the rat. Oh no, that's great. Well, wow. So the page is staking the king here. This is a headspace of not this, you know, like the page is curious and learning and going into it with gusto and asking the questions and exploring. And, you know, there's an enthusiasm and I am like involved in like these different studies right now too. And so that's been very fun for me. And part of like kind of delving into the things that just feel like, creative and what I'm passionate about. And so I think that this is just an encouragement to like actually be the king. I've got to be the page and just not let that overwhelm get to me and just embrace like, you know, the challenges that come through thinking through all the things that I'm getting done and managing my time along with that and doing it effectively. And again, having that focus too, so that I'm not falling too behind and then getting paranoid, and then it almost feeds the procrastination and it's worse. And then I'm just like so psyched out that, you know, it's no help. It doesn't help the situation, certainly. So I think just kind of, yeah, lightening it up and going into everything with just like not a slog, having that healthy interest and curiosity in it. And if this is making any sense. I always say that, right? If that makes any sense. Like, I talk about covering my ass all the time when I say that, but I just feel like the thoughts that are in my head I'm not finding my big girl words for them right now. But I just see a more lightness in step here in how I'm approaching like all of these things that I'm juggling right now. And yeah, so I can see that. I can see that fitting. So then what I need to release in the process, 9 of Chalices. I've got sweet. And so did I not say that my emotions and my thoughts are very much like they go hand in hand, and that's not unique to me by any means. So I think in order to not let like my thoughts get the best of me and get psyched out and everything, I need to also not let my emotions get the best of me either, and to find a healthy release for them, not one that's going to cause me to dance and spin so fast that I'm going to catch on fire, but to find some kind of release through dance, through music, like in a healthy way. You know, again, whatever like those passion projects are that can be my outlet, now that's something to consider. But otherwise, yeah, I have had like, I think the sense of depletion that I feel like I've emerged from in the last few weeks has very much been related to just being very weighed down. Sorry, I keep knocking my camera. It's been very weighed down emotionally, and that's not typically how I read the 9 of Cups. But again, I'm looking at this in shadow here as something that's like not serving me, that needs to be let go of. And I think that there was just like a great of accumulation of things going on over the course of the past year, and it was starting to get the best of me, and it was very much like affecting my mindset on everything. And so I feel like I am in this like lighter, more clear-headed space right now, more optimistic space. And so I'm feeling more, you know, Page of Swords or Scythes, as it were, and Page of Cups as well. That card's been coming up a lot for me lately as an encouragement of what to embrace. And yeah. So it's almost like being the mother, but then also the child, like going in with that kind of quality of just more innocence, not being so weighed down by the thoughts and emotions that can hold me down. So, all right, I guess I will wrap that up here then. That was just the Slayer spread to follow my walkthrough of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot deck. I can't believe this is in my hands. I'm going to continue gushing about this for a while, I think, and probably continue squealing obnoxiously over some of those cards, as well as also feeling like I've been punched in the gut by a couple of them. I anticipate some of those drying tears, whether of joy or sorrow, at different points as they come up. But wow, what an absolutely usable deck. What an absolutely wonderful deck. I am just chuffed to bits over this. I love it from eyeballs to entrails. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that if you have this deck, you're finding as much delight in it as I am. I would love to hear your thoughts about it either way. And get out there today and slay, folks. Bye.